The Chargers have one glaring issue that must be fixed. Now, there are several problems with this team, but you can argue that the main issue is the running. And I can already hear you guys out there saying, no, the issue is the second half offense. But if you fix this running game, naturally, you're going to score more points in the second half. And today, we are going to make the argument that the running game is the Chargers' biggest issue right now. So, make sure to like and subscribe if you do enjoy this content, man. It helps me out so much. And now, the Chargers only ran for 54 yards against the Bears. They have a terrible defense in every aspect. Their rush defense is not very good, and they only had 2.2 yards per carry, which is their second worst rushing performance behind the Vikings game, where they only had 30 yards and 2 yards per carry. But in that game, Justin Herbert, man, he tore it up and threw for 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he also, by the way, had a 12-yard run in that game, which makes that rushing performance in that one look even worse. So, the Chargers won these two games in spite of their rushing performance and because of how good Justin Herbert freaking is, man. Part of the reason that they can't score in the second half is because that run game has been terrible. Recently, it has. In the second half of the Bears game, the Chargers ran the ball on 8 first downs and got 8 yards in total. That is 1 yard on every first down and putting your offense in a bad position on second and long on almost every single first down because they ran more often on first down than they passed it. So, what is the deal with this run game? Well, Brandon Staley said that going into the 2023 season, he wanted a more potent rushing attack. That is verbatim. And Kellen Moore had a top 10 rushing offense with Cowboys over the course of his entire career with them, and that was a big reason for their success. So obviously, it played a role in him being hired. And we heard a lot about this running game, and they're going to run the ball a lot more and establish the run in the preseason, which is exactly what they did. They were running the ball very well in the preseason, multiple 200-yard games in the preseason. And then even in week 1, man, that was their identity. It was run the ball down the defense's throat and then take deep shots down the field and attack those outside corners with deep corner routes and screen passes. I know it doesn't seem like it, but Justin Herbert is at the top of the NFL in throwing the ball 20 yards downfield, and the Chargers are still attacking the sidelines really well thanks to Justin Herbert's insane freaking arm strength and Kellen Moore's route running, which is the best in the NFL, man. We all know that as Chargers fans, but the running game, it's seemingly just disappeared. Now, we've talked about why, right? Corey Linsley is out, and Brandon Staley has basically admitted now that he's not going to be returning. So, we hope the best for him health-wise. And the tight ends have been asked to block more often and bigger guys than they are capable of doing. Trey McCoy made this team because of how much they utilize those tight ends in the run game, and now halfway through the freaking season, man, he's cut from the team. He has not been playing well, and it's very telling that he was cut at the position that the Chargers need the most help at and in the area where they need it the most. Run blocking tight end. That is the sole reason he made this roster, and he is in that role where the Chargers need the most help, and they still felt that it was best to cut him. By the way, he was a third-round pick, and I know a lot of people like to defend Tom Telesco in my comment section, but he has had some really awful picks, man, and that is one of them. But anyway, he was cut, and I hope that that means there's going to be more usage of Jordan McFadden as a fullback, and even throw him out there at tight end, like I said in my other video, man. Kellen Moore is so creative, and with the Trey McCoy move, we can only hope that this means they're going to utilize those backup offensive linemen as tight ends and fullbacks in the run game, because that would be a much better use of our personnel, man. And the only downside to that would be that the defense knows that you're running, but Trey McCoy could not catch the ball anyway, so if you replace him with an offensive lineman, I don't think that really changes much of the defensive philosophy that you're going up against. It's already too late to make a trade for a blocking tight end because the trade deadline was yesterday on Halloween. So you're stuck with the guys you have right now unless you want to pick someone up off the freaking streets. So use these backup offensive linemen more as blocking tight ends and watch this run game be electric, man. There is no reason that Austin Ekeler should look so elusive and slippery as a receiver, but then when he gets a handoff, he looks like an average running back, man. Let me break down some of these plays from the Bears game so I can show you. Now it's just a simple run towards this B gap right here. Trey Pipkin's going to do a really nice job blocking this guy and angling his body this way so that he has no chance to get this run. And then we got this double team block by Will Clapp, Jamari Sawyer, and Jordan McFadden as fullback, man. He's going to pick up the linebacker. Jamari Sawyer gets to the second level, picks up this linebacker, and obviously Trey Pipkin's doing a real nice job sealing that edge off. Joshua Kelly runs right through them, gets past that second level, and then gets tackled by the weak side linebacker on this play. That is a good 5 or 6 yards and some really good blocking, man, by all of these offensive linemen on this play. Donald Parham was the man on that weak side linebacker, by the way. That's one of our tight ends. Now we're going to see the utilization of these tight ends. Stone Smart is going to be wrapped around back here behind the line of scrimmage to get the lead block. Austin Eckler looks like this run's going this way, but then we're going to see him plant and then go back to this side. You can see the linebacker has to stay honest. He takes that step towards this side, which is going to cause him to be more playing towards this middle of the field. So Stone Smart can come in, create a bigger hole over here, and you can see the safety beat Joshua Palmer on this play. This would have been a really big play if Josh Palmer is able to pick up that block. And then you have Stone Smart picking up this block. It leaves this huge hole right here. And even Austin Eckler would cut to the outside maybe if Josh Palmer is just, blocking him right here. And then you go to the outside, boom, one-on-one with the outside corner. Darius Davis has this man, the safety. This could have been a big run. This is one of those big runs that we would have seen like in the Dolphins game. This could have been one of those big ones. Now here, again, just another simple run. Check it out. Joshua Kelly just going towards this left side. Pretty good blocking by everyone along the offensive line, and you're getting a good 6 yards on this one. So why am I showing this to you, right? It's pretty boring. Well, let me go back and show you Trey McKitty and Donald Parham at the top of the screen right here. Donald Parham, Trey McKitty. Look at what I'm telling you when I'm saying none of these guys respect Trey McKitty's passing ability, or receiving ability, rather. The safety even comes up before Justin Herbert rolls out and he can see that he does not have this ball. Everyone is committed to this run because they don't believe in Trey McKitty's receiving ability. That's why I'm saying if you put out Jordan McFadden right here on this line, it's not going to be a detriment to your offense because already they are not looking at him as a receiver. They only see him as a blocker. They don't think that he is a threat downfield. Now, this is basically the same play as last time. Jordan McFadden as fullback again. We're going to have the double teams here, double team here. And these guys both going to get pancaked down. And Joshua Kelly is going to go head over heels right here. And I'm going to show you exactly why and what happened. If he was able to get a little more time, you can look at this backside of the play. Donald Parham chips this man, tries to help out Trey McKitty. Trey McKitty way too late on this play, and this guy is just going downfield, basically unblocked, man. He was just chipped by Donald Parham, and that is why Joshua Kelly had no time to wait right here, gather himself, and then bounce it back towards this side rather than just run and try to jump over these men that are on the ground. Now, you guys know I'm going to show you all the plays. There's no narrative here for me. I'm just going to tell you all of the facts. And on this one, the tight ends are all doing a pretty good job. But TJ Edwards gets that TFL on Austin Eckler. So why is that? Let me play it back for you. Rashawn Slater, right here. Here he is. My absolute man. I love this guy. One of the best left tackles in the league. But he struggles at getting to the second level and trying to block the speedy linebackers. This time it's TJ Edwards. And you can see he's barely getting a hand on him. He's beat on this play. He's playing catch up. It is a really tough block to make because Donald Parham sealing off this man and Rashawn Slater has to run past him. You can see it creates traffic for him. So I don't like the blocking personnel here, really. I don't like that Rashawn Slater has to climb to the second level quickly with Donald Parham being in the way with this ginormous defensive lineman right there. It just creates a lot of foot traffic for Rashawn Slater to get through. Tough block on a speedy linebacker. TJ Edwards able to get that TFL. But again, my tight ends are blocking exactly how I want them to on this play. Now, the reason that I am a big advocate on getting these backup offensive linemen out there at tight end is because look at Jamari Sawyer at right guard. He's going to pull over here. Same with Trey Pipkins. They're both pulling. Boom. Jamari gets that crack block on this man, acting as a lead blocker. Austin Eckler going to the left side. Plant right here, go right up the field. Look at this hole being created because we have Trey Pipkins now coming. Jamari Sawyer just pancaked this dude. And now Rashawn Slater climbing to that second level and trying to seal off the linebacker on this play. Austin Eckler gets a really good gain on this one because of the really good double team block by Roschon Johnson and Zion Johnson right here. And then he climbs to the second level, as you can see, seal this man off. And this is a designed cutback, man. But also, getting Jamari Sawyer out there in space like that, Jordan McFadden does that at practice too, man. That is what they're coached to do, and that is what the tight ends do often. Good blocking by Donald Parham, also stone smart on this play. Again, everyone's just blocking and doing their jobs on this one. So it's not like we can't have this consistency. Oh, this was so close to being a huge gain. Look at Will Clapp, the center, and TJ Edwards, the linebacker. Will Clapp going right here, climbing to the second level, trying to get up that or pick up that linebacker. And TJ Edwards just goes to this backside, reads it really well, and gets the tackle for loss on Austin Eckler. The reason why Will Clapp is the man to pick him up is because the way this run is designed is I'm going this way, trying to fool the linebacker to go in this space so Will Clapp can pick him up. But TJ Edwards, again, he just reads it really well, knows and watches the film, so he knows that this is just going to be cut back to this side. If you block TJ Edwards right here, Trey Pipkins here, Quentin Johnson gets that guy, you can see Keenan, Stone Smart, man. This would have been a huge game. This would be a one-on-one with the safety who was like 20 yards off with Austin Eckler, man. Woo! That would have been a big, huge run just like we saw in the Dolphins game. I'm telling you. So, it is possible to fix this running game, man. Even without Corey Linsley and without Trey McKitty now, we can absolutely rush for that same kind of performance that we had against the Dolphins and in the preseason, man. And if we fix it, this offense is going to look so great because look at what Justin Herbert was doing against the Bears, man. The passing attack and the rushing attack. Woo!